Hey guys, welcome into a special Morgan Mix episode, Cloffice edition, where I'm going to talk about how I turned my master closet into a home office, and you can too. All right, so first things first, how did I turn this really small space into a home office? So first of all, I had absolutely no options because I live in a tiny little apartment and I needed some kind of space where I could work because let's be honest, I'm a workaholic and that's where I knew I was gonna be spending most of my time. So the very first phone call that I made was actually to a kitchen cabinet company. That's right. Luckily for me, when I moved into this house, there was nothing in this closet, so I really just had a blank canvas to work with. I didn't have to pull out any hangers or existing shelves. That was kind of convenient. So I called the kitchen cabinet company, I sent them the measurements and a quick little sketch of exactly what I wanted, and they brought this thing to life. And I highly recommend kitchen cabinet companies because they're just kind of used to doing these kinds of installations. And I also got these really cool like little feature upgrades, like soft close drawers and things like that, which is also really, really handy to have. I finished off the customization with this little drawer for my keyboard, which has been super handy. I got this on Amazon because it's built to not damage the actual desk. I spent so much money on this desk. Oh my gosh, guys, it was about $6,000 for this actual install. You do not have to spend that kind of money, but I did not want to damage my $6,000 investment. So I got this little keyboard tray. So it's designed to not actually damage your desk. It's also fully adjustable here on the sides. It's got like 3 or 4 different little notches here. I was able to install it completely by myself with a screwdriver, which is really great. I'll put the Amazon link in the description below for this in case you're looking for a similar keyboard tray. The next thing that I did was look for a super ergonomic, super comfortable chair. Now, the desk and the chair is probably where I spent most of my money when I was building this office because I wanted the desk to be super comfortable and not cause me any back problems, and I wanted the exact same situation for my chair. So this chair is actually a leather chair from Zuri Furniture. This, I think on Amazon, this particular brand is gonna run you in the $400 to $500 range for the most part. If that's not quite in your budget, I highly recommend checking out Amazon Basics ergonomic chairs because they have really similar, great ergonomic chairs, good quality for like less than $100 price point. I'll put a few of my favorite office chairs in the description below as well. And then the third thing, of course, that I did was I wanted to make this home office space something that worked for me, made it feel like less of a cloffice during the day, even though I use that term, a term of endearment with love, less like a closet during the day. So I brought in a couple of things that just made it feel more homey. For instance, I have these neat little shelves, also available on Amazon, super easy to install, or at least, I don't know, husband, what would you say? Easy to install?
No.
Husband says not easy to install, but anyway. I have these cute little shelves installed. These are just from Amazon floating shelves. They can't hold like a lot of weight, as you can see. They're more just for aesthetics, more for looks, but it can hold some of my favorite pictures and just some of my knickknacks and such. Next thing I did was brought in some signage from Etsy. I'm a super big Etsy fan. Like I had these custom Upwork signs made from Etsy. I will link to these as well in the description below. This particular set of signage helped celebrate when I hit my $600,000 earned milestone on Upwork. So that's super fun. That's also where I got this giant M that you see here in the background. Also got that in Etsy. And again, I'll link as many products as you've seen here in the description below so you guys can kind of shop if you do see something that you like. Perhaps you are also building your own home cloffice. I need to do the same. Also had to make sure that this place was healthy for me too, right? Because who wants to really spend all their time in an actual closet? So I wanted to bring in a little bit of light and a little bit of air. And so the couple of things I did to achieve that, number one, I replaced the lighting from the original closet with this cool little chandelier, which makes everything feel more like a home space and rather than like, you know, you're literally in a closet. Next thing I did was bring in this cool plant. This plant can basically survive with no air, with no water. I think I've probably maybe watered it 5 times in the year and it still looks beautiful and it's growing. Highly recommend. It's called a ZZ plant. You can get that at any of your local like Home Depots or Walmarts or whatever. It's a pretty common plant, at least here in Florida. The number one question that I get about my home office closet is, do you miss the sun? Now, I'm gonna tell you, I live in Miami, Florida, so no, I do not miss the sun. We got plenty of sun. We got sun in droves, all right? So don't worry about that. But every once in a while, if I feel like I want a little bit of extra burst of that UV light, I do have this cool little UV light over here in the corner, and I'll just turn that on for like 10, 20 minutes at a time. Now I cannot vouch as to whether or not this actually scientifically works, but I'll tell you the placebo effect is strong enough for me. So I do have my little UV lamp as well. Finally, of course, the last thing that you'll want to consider when you're building or you're converting your closet into a home office is bringing in lots of fabrics and textiles. For instance, I got this rug, again, on Amazon, pretty affordable, fits the space really, really well. I also brought in blankets, I brought in pillows, I brought in tiles for the actual wall that are sound dampening tiles and help me sound a lot better on Zoom or when I'm recording video, because closets a lot of times can be so echoey since they're not really built for people spending time in here. They're pretty kind of barren. So I find that those little textiles and things work too. And then of course, last but not least, I also have my Zoom set up, which I'm super proud about. And I have these 3 different lights that are all built to sort of sit on my desk, which is really, really nice. So I use a 3-point lighting system. And of course, my handy dandy mic, which I absolutely love. It makes me sound so much better. Highly recommend this little baby too. It's actually a professional mic, but it's got a USB cord, so it can plug straight into any computer, which is really, really cool. All right, guys, so that completes my home office tour. I hope you enjoyed it. Are you building a cloffice in your own home? Let me know in the comments below. I cannot wait to hear from you. Also, make sure that you follow me on social media, at Morgan O Media on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.